Hello, good morning, and welcome to your third business management lesson. Today we are going to be focusing mainly on entrepreneurs. But before we start that, I have a starter task on forms I would like you to complete. So if I can just get you to pause the video just now and go start your starter task. It is just everything that we have covered up until this point. Moving on, as I said, today's lesson is going to be all about entrepreneurs. So our learning intention is to understand the term entrepreneur, and you'll be successful if you can suggest reasons why someone would want to set up their own business. You can describe the skills and qualities of an entrepreneur, and you can explain how these skills and qualities help an entrepreneur to become successful. So as always, if there's a pencil in the corner, please make sure that you're copying these notes down as it is your notes for the course. So looking at enterprise and entrepreneur. At the bottom here, we have some famous entrepreneurs, but we're not going to look at them just yet. An entrepreneur is someone who has and develops a business idea. They do this by acquiring the necessary resources, so are factors of production, you could say. They do this as well as raising the finance in order to acquire said resources, and they risk losing the money invested. So that's what makes them an entrepreneur as opposed to someone who's just running a business. They're using their own money that they've invested and they could possibly lose it. Once you've copied this down, we are going to start our first task of this lesson. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring up the worksheet that's called Entrepreneur's Booklet Matchup. As you can see, down one side, I've got the names of some famous entrepreneurs, and on the other side, I have their businesses. What I would like you to do is to match the entrepreneur to their business. You can either copy this out on a piece of paper, or you could insert a shape such as an arrow, for example, and drag it to the business that you think it belongs to. Can I just get you to pause the video just now and start your first task on Entrepreneur's Booklet Matchup? By this point, you will have finished your first task, so we're going to move on to the next slide, which actually has the answers on them for you. So, we have Steve Jobs, who of course founded Apple. We have Bill Gates with Microsoft. We have Elon Musk with PayPal. We have Donatella Versace with Versace. We have Rupert Murdoch for Sky. We have Richard Branson for Virgin, Ray Kroc with McDonald's, Walt Disney with Disney, and Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. Not all entrepreneurs started off as millionaires. Very often they start with very little. So for example, Apple started in a garage, Dell started in a college dorm room, Starbucks just had one single store, Nike started out at the back of somebody's boot, or in America they call it a trunk, and Google started as a thesis for their university project. So starting a business is obviously very difficult, and it takes up a lot of time and a lot of your money, but there must be some reason why people do it. So can I just get you to pause the video and think of a couple of reasons why you think someone would want to start up their own business? So write down these reasons in your jotter. Some of the reasons why someone would want to start up a business is to first of all become their own boss. They would also like to make a profit. They do this to provide a good or service to people. And they also do this to fill a gap that they have identified in the market. So if you've not got any of these ideas down, it would be a good idea to copy them. Your next task is I would like you to copy and paste this URL into your search bar and to watch this video clip. Whilst you're watching the video clip, I'd like you to note down the skills and qualities of an entrepreneur. So what would be this individual's skills or qualities? The video won't take you very long, it's about 2.5 minutes. So can I get you to pause it and watch that video clip for me? By now you will have watched the video clip. Some skills and qualities that I've noticed from watching it is that an entrepreneur has to be a risk taker. They're often they're very determined, so they've got a lot of determination. They tend to have a dream or an ambition. They usually have a very strong character. They tend to be leaders and have great self-belief as well as strong management skills. But what we're looking onto is the skills and qualities of an entrepreneur. Wee pencil at the side, so please make sure you're copying this down. The first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what really is the difference between a skill and a quality? A skill is an ability that is gained through learning and training. So for example, doing a forward roll, you'll work on it again and again, you'll practice it until you're able to do that forward roll. The same thing could be said about your mathematics skills, or just any class that you are constantly practicing and trying to get yourself a bit better at it. A quality, however, is a personal characteristic, sort of like an aspect of your personality. So for example, being brave. Now I know you can work on your fears. Say you're frightened of roller coasters, you can obviously go on that roller coaster again and again until you're not frightened of it anymore. But being brave naturally is more like a personality aspect and something that you can practice with. So what we are going to do just now is we are going to do our third task of today. It's in your entrepreneur booklet. For this task, you're going to need your skills and qualities workbook. Your first task is to look at the skills and qualities in this word bank below and sort them out into skills and qualities. So if you think can draw is a skill, you would type or write it in here, or if you think it's a quality, you would write it in there. Once you've done that, you have to move to task 2, where you have to consider which skills and qualities do you think are most useful for an entrepreneur. So using the skills and qualities that you've just sorted out in task 1, I want you to pick 4 skills and 4 qualities that you think are personally most useful for an entrepreneur. Once you've done that, can I get you to go back to the video? You will have just completed tasks 1 and 2 in your entrepreneur booklet. What we're about to move on to is what's actually a commonly asked exam style question. So we're looking at skills and qualities. An entrepreneur needs to have specific skills and qualities in order to help run a successful business. How might the skills or quality below help an entrepreneur run a successful business? So in an exam, it would usually ask you to maybe identify a skill or a quality and then explain how that skill or quality helps the entrepreneur to be successful. So for example, if we were to look at risk taker, we can say, an entrepreneur must be able to take risks as it means they are willing to try new things which may work well for the business. Or if we were looking at polite, you could say, if you are polite to customers, they will like you and are more likely to come back to your business. So do you see how we're saying how these skills or qualities help the business to become successful? Now what I would like you to do is to go back onto your entrepreneur skills and quality workbook, but to complete task 3. So you have to pick 1 skill and 1 quality from the above that you've sorted out and basically tell me why it is useful for an entrepreneur to have. So I would prefer you didn't pick any that I just said in the video previously. So just pick 1 skill and quality and tell me why it's useful for an entrepreneur to have this skill or quality. Once you have done that task, that's this video completed and you're finished for the week. Thank you.